Hey everyone, I'm Sammy, product manager for Gliffy here at Perforce Software. It's my job to make sure Gliffy is your favorite technical diagramming tool, but also just to make sure that you and your team are set up for success. So, if you are looking to collaborate visually in Confluence, but you're not sure whether to use Confluence Whiteboards or Gliffy Diagrams for Confluence, I can help. In this video, I'm going to break down the key differences between these products. Both are honestly awesome and fun to use. They have their own strengths, weaknesses, and corresponding use cases. So first up, what are these two products and how are they different? Gliffy Diagrams for Confluence is an Atlassian Marketplace app that allows you to add diagrams to your documentation in Confluence. All your diagrams are stored as attachments on a Confluence page and images and macros inside that Confluence page. So we're a really great way to enhance your documentation for more complex things. Our product is ideal for technical documentation, complex process documentation, things like UML diagrams or AWS or cloud architecture diagrams. Confluence Whiteboards, on the other hand, is its own kind of content type in Confluence, kind of alongside Pages. And it's a really great place to get your team together to brainstorm, run a retro, do an activity together synchronously, even if maybe you're not in the same place. So I really recommend Confluence Whiteboards for brainstorming and Gliffy for things where you're trying to create a source of truth or something your team is going to reference again and again. There are a few key differences to be aware of. First up is the structure and precision. Whiteboards is really loose and freeform, fast to use, and there are minimal constraints, but it also doesn't provide a lot of structure. Gliffy, on the other hand, has thousands of shapes, hundreds of templates to get you started, and a lot of features like snapping or our grid layout that allow you to capture a lot of information, but also keep it organized. We even have layers that allow you to organize information onto layers and multiple pages that you can add to your diagram, kind of like a sheet in Google Sheets or in Excel. So that kind of contributes to that use case around whiteboards being a collaborative activity that you're looking to do with your team. Stuff like a project kickoff, a retro, a sprint planning session are all really great to do in whiteboards. Gliffy is more so where you would want to work on detailed systems diagrams or decision trees, complex process flows. These are things your team will reference again and again. So it's not necessarily about the activity of making the thing. It's more about using the diagram as a reference in the future as a source of truth for your team. Gliffy also has a few features that really support that longevity. For example, version control. Currently, Confluence Whiteboards allows you to see revision history for 30 days back in time, while Gliffy captures every new saved version of a diagram, and you can always revert back to an older diagram if necessary. We have the ability to organize your work with layers and even create interactive diagrams so that users can toggle those layers on the Confluence page and see stuff like the before and after of a change you made to your system, or walk themselves through a journey that's maybe expressed as a flow chart or a business process flow. We also support diagrams as code, so you can create a diagram from a markdown-like language called Mermaid. And we have the ability to create diagrams using a plain text prompt and AI. So you can simply say, give me a sequence diagram that explains how an elevator is going to interact with the system in place as well as the users. So all that means you should really focus on using Gliffy when you need technical clarity, the ability to maintain your documentations, and you're capturing something complex. Whiteboards, again, is an awesome place to work together as a team when you're more focused on the activity of creating together. So a really great example of when you might use whiteboards and Gliffy is, say you're working on an app that lets your users create a budget and track their spending and track their savings against that budget. This would be a really great time for you to use a whiteboard and do a product or feature ideation session. So throwing out ideas like giving people the ability to create sub-budgets or sub-items, to schedule recurring transactions in your budgeting app, to connect not only to credit cards, checking accounts, and savings accounts, but then maybe also track different types of savings like your 401k. All that in that ideation session would be really well captured on a whiteboard. Then you might have an idea like, okay, let's give users the ability to track a 401k and their savings there, as well as this kind of budgeting functionality. Well, that's going to require a new integration. And you might want to document the technical requirements for that integration or how you're thinking that data will flow in Gliffy. It's a better fit for that technical use case and engineering team. As you build this integration, you'll reference that documentation again and again. So let's say you spend a few sprints and you think that integration is ready to launch. Now you need to talk to your marketing team. And this is where Confluence Whiteboards can come back in and help you collaborate and kick off that feature release while also including technical information and explaining what was built to the marketing team via your Gliffy diagram. So, two separate use cases, really just depending on who needs to understand what information and whether you're working more toward documenting the work that's being done versus collaborating together to come up with the idea or then kick off that campaign. Overall, my recommendation is use whiteboards for fast collaboration. Use Gliffy when your visuals need structure, clarity, and longevity. The higher the stakes, the more I would lean toward using Gliffy because of our rich features like revision history that's going to allow you to keep a really clear track of any changes that were made so that you can reference that document again and again with a lot of confidence. Check out the links below to give Gliffy Diagrams for Confluence a try. We are free on the Atlassian Marketplace for up to 10 users. And if you have more than 10 users, you can enjoy a free trial for 30 days. Thanks.